Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video is one that I've wanted to make for a little while, and more so after the events of San Diego Comic-Con 2019 with the announcement of Phase 4, lots of films, lots of characters, and potentially big impacts that could be seen in the next couple of years in Marvel Contest of Champions. This video isn't a criticism to Kabam, but merely looks at the pressures by the license from Marvel, the market and competition from rivals such as Future Fight and Strike Force, and the way that new players come to the game based on seeing their movie favourites appearing in, well, the game that they want to play. I think the best place to start this video is with a bit of history. So back in 2014, MCOC began with a very focused comic book look with characters not resembling movie versions. In May 2015, we saw Ultron and a version of MCU Vision being introduced. In July, we saw our first film versions of Yellowjacket and Ant-Man, and in November, we saw a TV version of Daredevil. There's also a version of Jessica Jones, somewhere in the files, but I don't think she'll ever see the light of day. So the question is, in 2015, what happened to get that shift to cover movie related stuff or movie related characters being made champions in game? In April 2015, Marvel Future Fight was released, and this is where things get a little bit stranger. Now at that time it was about to be the big release for Avengers Age of Ultron. Now both games, even though they're a little bit different, they are very similar that they're on the same platform. They're both mobile games. So was it a case that based on the threat of the market that Kabam decided, hey, let's look at the idea of, well, putting movie versions in? Was it indeed pressure from Marvel that characters that look similar to the movies should be in those games? This is something obviously I want to welcome onto the comment section for you to discuss whether or not you feel it is either based on competition and market threat or the pressure from the license to indeed have this representation. I think one thing we can all agree on is, compared with Strike Force, Future Fight and Marvel Contest of Champions, MCOC and the developers put an extensive amount of effort to put in a new champion, regardless if it is a movie version or it is indeed just a standard comic book look, or their own separate lore, or even a Kabam original. And I'm not going to say that the character build time is a lot less and is a lot lazier from other types of games, but there's a lot of intrinsic information, especially when it comes into the way that a champion or character interacts with another, based on things like masteries, debuffs, interaction with nodes. There's a lot of time and effort that is required with MCOC than it does with other games. But I digress, let's continue on, and let's talk about the acquisition. So on February 23rd, 2017, Netmarble announced it had acquired Marvel Contest of Champions. Now this was a highly lucrative deal. MCOC had an excellent formula and was riding the waves of financial success. But did this have any impact on the way the game pushed these types of champions? On the face of it, no. I think that Kabam already understood the pressures for the market, and maybe, and again this points to the comment section for your opinion, whether or not we all feel that the pressures from Marvel for the license is that they want to see representation from stuff going into the films. So there's that cross promotion. They put it in games, so you go, oh yes, there's something in the cinema, I'm going to go and watch it. And the same thing going with other types of Marvel events where they push things like Marvel Contest of Champions, Strike Force, etc, etc. Now I think it's very important for us to look at the stats. In 2014, we saw no movie or TV versions. In 2015, we saw 5 with Ultron, Vision Age of Ultron, Netflix Daredevil, Yellowjacket and Ant-Man. In 2016, we saw 5 with Crossbones, Falcon, Black Panther, Quake and Mordo. In 2017 we saw 6 with Hela, Thor Ragnarok, Starkey, Vulture, Nebula and Yondu. In 2018 we saw 8 with Hulk Ragnarok, Killmonger, Beardo, Iron Man Infinity War, Korg, Heimdall, Wasp and Ghost. And 2019 so far we have seen Cap Marvel Movie, Ronan, Cull Obsidian, Ebony Maw, Stealthy and Mysterio. Also a quick fact about the 30 champions we talked about, 10 of those are new variants of older champions. For example, Spider-Man, Hulk and Thor, to name a few. And again, there's no great criticism to Kabam. It's the thing that really interests me at the moment, especially going into the information that we're going to discuss about Phase 4. not to mention the Disney Plus service. Because you have to bear in mind there are people that aren't massive fans of these movie variants. Now let's quickly analyse what we've got lined up. Films wise, 2020 sees Black Widow. Now in this one there is Taskmaster. Would there be a different variant based on what we've seen? Possibly. A different version of Black Widow? Again, possibly. The Eternals, no champions represented in game, so we could see something. Shang-Chi, yeah, I'd probably say we're going to see either Shang-Chi himself, or we're going to see a villain, or maybe an ally of some description. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is at 2021, and we'll probably see a new villain being teased, or maybe an alternate version of Doctor Strange, especially based on the fact that, well, the current Doctor Strange isn't really the key to everyone's roster. Thor Love and Thunder comes at 2021, and more than likely we'll see a Jane Foster Thor version. That is, well, movie version and not a buffed older version. Maybe we'll see a different variant of Thor. My personal pick is to see the Unworthy Thor, but you never know what's going to happen. And yes, there are other ones that have got the TBAs. The Black Panthers, Blades, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel 2, and not to mention Fantastic Four, and as well a mutant-based film. Could be X-Men teased for the future. But will this be 2021? All of the above are a bit sketchy, but we know we're definite for the 2020 and 2021 slate of the films discussed a moment ago. And now onto the subject of Disney Plus, where we're going to see Falcon and Winter Soldier have a series. WandaVision is going to be Loki, What If, which is going to be an animated series, but there's possibilities, and not to mention Hawkeye. Now with these, will we see alternate versions? Personally, if we were to see a Sam Wilson version of Captain America, I would be happy with that. I'd absolutely love the idea of that being put in. And would WandaVision see an alternate version of Vision? Maybe even Scarlet Witch? Possibly. Not to mention the fact that Loki could see an alternate version, with the current version in game being a bit, well, blasé. And with Hawkeye, could we see an alternate version that kind of links in? No, but more than likely we'll see something to do with Kate Bishop, which is teased and seems more plausible. Either way, I thought I would look at the past and look towards the future as to the implications and likelihoods of the next 2 years with Champions and MCOC. And with games like the Avengers, which have decided to opt away slightly from movie versions to have their own spin with slight comic book influence, is it too much of a bad idea for game studios to have their own originality? Or do they need to get people in to play the game, so they need to see the movie versions to get that hype? I'll be interested to read your comments down below on the subject and whether you feel that we are getting too many movie versions in game. Is this a pressure from the licensee based on the fact Marvel Studios and Disney want to push things out to the games companies to say, hey, well, you know, make a movie version and this is what obviously we stipulate? Or is it a games company thing and going, right, well, the others are doing it, so technically we're going to do it? Is this a way of gathering people in to play these games and just get a better way of marketing? But thanks very much in any case for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest Champions based content. And as always, I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.